Hey everyone, it's Joe here, and this lesson is called Celebrate Your Progress. How far have you come? So this might be a topic that seems fluffy, but it's really important, not only for maintaining motivation, but also to use as a tool for self-reflection and goal setting. So what we'll cover today is the importance of focusing on your progress in the here and now, okay? How your perspective on progress can make or break you, and an introduction to the 3 Ps, okay? So progress points, prizes, and pondering. So this is you right now. The person in the middle is where you are right now, okay, in the red circle. Behind you, or on the left, is all the progress you've made so far. And in front of you, or on the right, is all the progress that remains to be made to get to your end goal, okay? So there's a slight problem here, though. People never realize, or they fail to recognize, the progress they've made, the arrow that's pointing behind you, or the progress you've made. And they only focus on how much progress remains to be made until they reach their goal, the arrow pointing in front of you or to the right. So how much progress have you made? It's an important question. In this instance, I mean in terms of something measurable, like a weight or a measurement or a dress or a pants size or something. How much progress have you made so far? Now, did you just say something like, oh, I've lost 10 pounds, or I lost 5 kilos? Or did you say, I've only lost 10 pounds, I've only lost 5 kilos, I have another 20 pounds, I have another 10 kilos to go, groan, moan. Now, often it's the latter one. And this is where the problem lies in making long-term changes. If you're using your end goal as the marker for progress, or comparing yourself to other people, it can be insanely demotivating. It's also very easy to fall into the trap of negative self-talk. Your mind might be encouraging you to give up by only focusing on how far you have to go. The mind can be a massive manipulator. You don't need to listen to it. So here's the problem. People only focus on how much progress remains to be made until they get to their goal, right? All the challenges ahead. If you're using your end goal as the marker for your progress, no amount of progress will ever be enough. You might find yourself saying, well, I lost 10 pounds, but I still have 20 pounds more to lose. Or let's say your goal is to achieve, 6-pack abs. You may have dropped inches from your waist, and you can feel that it's stronger there, or you can start to see an outline. But you don't have, the 6-pack, so who cares about that? You haven't made good progress. And this can be seriously demotivating and disheartening. Because even though you are making changes and getting towards your goal, you feel like you're not. And so what's the solution? You need a way to focus on your progress that allows you to take a step back and measure where you're at against who you were yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, when you started. Okay, because no matter how small, the chances are very good you've made progress, and that is what you should be focusing on. How do you shape up compared to yourself yesterday, a week ago, a month ago, when you started? And this thought pattern or this exercise, it needs to be actionable. Otherwise, you just watch this video and maybe you think about it for an hour or something, and then you kind of just go back to comparing your progress to your end goal again. So how do we do this with intention and make it actionable? That's what the 3 Ps are. So here's a really great reflection and goal setting tool that it's useful to help you to focus on your progress rather than the end goal, okay? So 3 Ps are, number 1 is progress points, number 2 is prize, and number 3 is ponder. So let's see if you've done this before. So a progress point is your end goal broken down into smaller, more achievable goals. So if you need to lose 20 pounds or 10 kilos, a progress point would be to lose, say, 10 pounds or or 5 kilos, right? Progress points are necessary because they make your goal realistic, achievable, and reduce, overwhelm, one step at a time. So at each progress point, you're right, these smaller goals you've made, you need a reward to keep you motivated to work towards it. This is what the prize is. So nobody wants to work hard on a goal and not get anything out of it. The prize solves that. Each time you get to your progress point, you receive a small prize to reward your efforts and remind yourself that you're on your way to your end goal. Okay? So, for example, your progress point might have been to lose 10 pounds or 5 kilos, and your prize is a 1-hour massage. So, I'll give you some more examples of prizes. It's got to be something that makes you feel good about yourself, that you've put off buying for one reason or another, something that helps to motivate you to do even more. Like, the options are actually endless. So, some ideas is a new set of kitchen utensils, such as quality knives, like to make cooking more enjoyable. Other new kitchen equipment, like a blender or something. You could do a cooking class or cookbook. Exercise equipment if you want. Like massage, pedicure, manicure, etc. You could go out for a fancy restaurant meal. Buy a fancy or fun lunchbox or water bottle. New clothes, whether it's fitness related or not. Magazine subscription. There's all sorts of fun things. Number 3 is ponder. So basically we can reflect on the progress that we've made, and it reminds us of how far we've come, okay? This is a necessary step to keep you moving forward. So you should ponder on your progress by filling out a progress record to provide you with tangible feedback that what you're doing is working. So here are some ways you can reflect and ponder. Basically, you can compare progress photos from your last progress point or from the start. You could compare measurements, so waist measurements, body weight, against your last progress point or from the start. You could compare strength or even energy levels. Like if you try to quantify them on a scale of 1 to 10, you could compare them from your last progress point or from the start as well. So let's say you need to lose 50 pounds and you've already lost 20, right? Reflection kind of removes the 50 pounds from being the center or the top priority, and it kind of makes you focus on the 20 pounds you already lost. So now it's not so much, I have to lose another 30 pounds, but rather, wow, I lost 20 pounds. I'm really proud of how far I've come, and now I feel good, I can keep going. And so there's less obvious ways to reflect or to ponder as well. So, for example, maybe you were never exercising and now you exercise 3 to 4 times a week. Maybe you had wine on most days and now you only have a couple glasses on the weekend. Maybe you go out to eat at a restaurant and you don't just go off the rails, drop the ball and go nuts, Maybe you're refusing an extra serving of dessert now. Maybe you're deciding to go for a walk instead of sitting at home and watching Netflix. So the 3 Ps technique, it's really important. It can help keep you motivated. It can also help you appreciate the journey. You'll get to your end goal eventually, but you can't get there without going through where you are right now. So those are the 3 Ps, and that's how you can make celebrating your progress more tangible and make sure that you're focusing on the right things that are motivating. So number 1 is progress points, right? Breaking it down. Number 2 is having a prize for yourself. And then number 3 is pondering or reflecting on how far you've come rather than how far you have to go, and actually writing that down, okay? Now, a really useful tool for that number 3 ponder sort of stage is to keep... Now, a really useful tool for that number 3 step, ponder, is to keep and fill out a progress record or a journal when you reach a progress point. Okay, this allows you to not only reflect but write down on paper your progress, and you can keep this to look back at for motivation or reflection once you reach each goal. So here's an example of what you could include but you could also do your own design. And I'm going to include, a copy of these that you can download below this video in this lesson if you would prefer that. But of course, you can make your own one as well. So basically, we're looking at today's date, weight or inches lost to date, for example, your prize, and the reason why you want to keep going, to reinforce the benefits you want to achieve, to keep thinking about your why. Okay, we also want to look at how you're tracking, versus your why. So this has to be positive tracking only. I'll give you an example in a sec. Focus areas to remember between now and the next progress point, and what your next progress point is going to be, and your next prize. Okay, so here's an example of a progress record to give you an idea of what you could include in your own. And you can see the prize is something positive that's going to contribute to working towards your goals as well. So the date, obviously, what you've, weight or inches lost. The prize is like a new smoothie blender. So the reasons you want to keep going, to enjoy traveling and not hold the tour group up, for example, like a smaller goal. And then, how you're tracking against your why, your bigger, deeper goal, the reason you joined up in the first place, which is something that, we explored in Module 1, one of the lessons there. If you haven't done the worksheet there about being committed, go and do that. This will help you find the answer here. You need that answer, otherwise it's easy to lose track. So for this one, it's, I can now do up my shoelaces on my own and walk around the block without puffing. The next one is focus areas to remember between now and the next progress point. You tell yourself, don't give up and just do it. Stay accountable with my coach, stay in touch with them and track consistently, for example. And then what your next progress point is, and your next prize in this case, new exercise tights or pants. So, if you want a copy of this, you can download it below the video and use that to prompt you. Okay, so to recap this lesson, we looked at how to focus on and celebrate how far you've come so far, rather than how far you have to go, okay? So how you celebrate your progress. So notice your own self-talk, how this can hinder or help your progress, okay? Use the 3 Ps to help you celebrate your progress. So progress points, prizes, and pondering, okay? Record your progress as evidence to yourself that you're in control, that you've got this. Lastly, celebrating your progress should serve as a reminder that your goal here should be to focus on and enjoy the process rather than just the outcome, right? Health and happiness, it's a day-to-day skill. It's not a destination, okay? In fact, success itself is not a destination. It's a journey, because ultimately it's not about the abs or the bum at the end, or how much you lose or how toned you get. It's about the person you become during the process of getting to your goal. A resilient person who decides not to give up even though things are getting tough. A person who says one thing and then does it. A person who finishes what they start no matter what. So you should celebrate your journey. Celebrate your progress. Okay, that's all for this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.